What up, everybody? Welcome back to Pro Publications YouTube channel. As always, it's me, Rich. And as some of you may know, it's International Zine Month, and I'm going down the month doing the prompts. And today is day number 2. See what it is. So the prompt for today is Zine Rewind. Reread your favorite zines and remind yourself why you love them. Easy enough. Except for I've read quite a bit of zines in my time, and a lot of them have stood out and I've enjoyed a lot for different reasons. And so let's get into a stack of zines that I pulled that always stand out for having made an impact on me and my zine creating stilo. Alright guys, let's peep them out. So the first one I mention is My Family and More by Ryla. Ryla is a young person. She was just having fun. I believe this to be her first zine ever made, and it's just fun, man. It stands out to me because it's such a young person creating this. This is Ryan from Pocket Thought's daughter's zine, and it just stood out for me. It's always been one of my favorites just because it was a young person making it. This one is called Frankie Comics. I think it's probably one of the oldest zine reviews that I have. But you gotta understand that Frankie Comics impacted me because when I read Frankie Comics, I really enjoyed the simplicity of it. I really enjoyed the fact that it wasn't such a long narrative structure, which made me feel like not so daunting to probably do the comics that I do now with the Fam. For those of you guys who are not familiar, the Fam is kind of like an offshoot of the Frankie Comics of this person's life with her cat Frankie, and then the Fam is obviously my life with my 5 cats, 2 dogs, and wife. And so, you know, big outs to Frankie Comics is really dope. So another one that I enjoyed a lot is called Girl Scouts by, never know how to say his name, but I believe it's Mama Food. This zine is really tight, and the reason why I like it a lot is because I bought this zine, got it autographed and everything, and slowly but surely, this fella is fucking good. This zine is now a comic book on Image Comics, and so I enjoy it because it always reminds me, like, your zines, they're just as good on any other platform. It's just this is one platform. And so I really enjoyed the fact that, one, I was able to get this zine before Girl Scout got signed to Image, and, you know, Image Comics. And, you know, it's like I said, it's fun to see that these same comics, the same style, the same format, the layout, he picked this up and just put it into a professional comic. And it just goes to serve and remind that zines are just as valid as any other medium, and it doesn't diminish the work that's in them. And lastly, some of my favorite zines that I read and reread sometimes comes from Budget Press. Let me take some of them because I have a few of them. And it's basically this crazy saga about a villain. So if you guys haven't seen these, I don't know, they're still printing these. The first one's called The Villain's Sidekick. The next one's called The Devil's Right Hand. And the last one's called The Eternity Conundrum. These zines right here, which really they should put them together and just publish them as one book. But those zines are really, really well written, really, really fun, very interesting. You know, and they're just a good read. Like, it's fun for me. I always feel that the villains are more interesting than the good guys. So I love because it goes backwards. So it's more of what made him into a villain, his era as a villain, and then him leaving a villain. And it's weird because they wrote him out of sequence. So the first one you read is him leaving, you know, getting out of being a villain. Somewhat, kind of dubious. I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed those zines, and that's why I feel like I had to mention them on the Zine Rewind Day. Probably won't reread them because I don't have the time right now, but these are some of the zines that I've read in my time that I kind of have like in a special pile of, like, I'll go through them once in a while again, you know? And so with that being said, go ahead and check out those zines. If you want to check out Girl Scout, probably just go pick up some of those comics from Image Comics. Probably have them at your local comic book shop. And Frankie Comics, I haven't seen Frankie Comics in a while, man, so I hope Frankie Comics is still doing her thing right there. Alright, you guys. Till next time.
Fight the fascists.
And lates.